Corey Oates plays his 100th tonight. Debuted in a cauldron against Melbourne in Melbourne at just 18 years of age as the Tigers come out. Led out by Benji Marshall. Freakish player. Some of those shots of him back in his youth. He certainly filled out. He was so young, wasn't he? When he was 21, people like Chris Lawrence were very much just out of school, really. Luke Brooks, who's playing in the halfback position next to Benji tonight, was in fact turning 10 when Benji threw the flick pass for Pat Richards. There's young Brooks.
Stay behind the kicker, guys.
So the Tigers are running to the southern end. Can they make it 3 in a row? Yep. They haven't beaten the Broncos anywhere since 2016. And Marshall gets us going tonight in VB Friday Night Football. The ball coming down to Isako. And he'll play the ball some 12 metres out from his own try line. Here's Matthew Lodge. Taken down by 3 and 4 of the West Tigers platoon of forwards. And that is Pangai. He's really got the knack of offloading. Maguire through, Milford on, Bird with the ball, 19 on his back. And he'll play the ball jack. 5 state of origins beside his name these days. From Milford at dummy half again for Maguire taking a second. And he'll play the ball just on the northern end of the ground. Beautifully prepared the ground for tonight in a week where we've had a bit of rain. Gillett playing it to McCulloch centre ground. High kick Nicarama, bad kick really. Skewed off his boot, went over towards Isako and bounces into touch.
All up, mate.
So it's off the bounce, it's not on the full, so it'll be a scrum. And it will pack down pretty much on the 30-metre line. The kick from Nicarima, not good.
He was trying one of those floating bombs. Came off the side of the boot. Was expecting a slippery, wet conditions out here tonight, considering the rain we've had all week in Sydney. Great conditions.
Well, the Tigers with Watene Zelezniak. Malachi, the brother of Dallin. And so Robbie Rocco. Novocastrian, based here with the Tigers at Concord. That, in fact, is their home base. Right in the middle of the old Western Suburbs territory. Natalino, and he takes it to a point about 32 metres away from Brisbane's line. Playing it to McKilrick. They go blindside. And Brooks, 22 out. This is the last coming up now. Lawrence, the dummy half. Marshall puts it high. A lot of hang time. And Isako, I think, has got the ball. Yes, he's come down with it. Young winger Isako over on the right side of the ground for Brisbane. This is Pangai Jr. and they get a penalty.
Previous set of 6. Russell Packer has plenty to say to the Broncos forwards. On that left side of the field, there's going to be a great matchup there between Luke Brooks and Matt Gillett, the back rower for the Brisbane Broncos. Just watch how many times those two players come together. Brooks with his speed and evasion will be trying to get on the inside and outside of Gillett. It's his job, Gillett. Everywhere Brooks goes, he'll go.
Well, Brisbane getting the first penalty of the game. Maguire it is on his 3rd carry in the match. McCulloch away from dummy half, so the 2nd week in a row they've gone away from the Sam Thaiday dummy half start, which was certainly not very successful against the Dragons. As it's played back to McCulloch now, and he gives it to Milford. Milford tackled by Eisenhuth. And that'll be a penalty. They've had a second dig. Eisenhuth
he was
pushing
up
Milford
and
back down. Ashley Klein is the main referee.
Yeah, it was late in the tackle count too. It's a painful one. and the interesting decision to kick for goal. We'll take a break.
So welcome back to Campbelltown Sports Stadium, Brisbane, with the goal kicker is Jermaine Isako. 4 from 4 last week. He kicks at 72% success rate in his Holden Cup days. Born in Christchurch. He's a real athlete, this fellow. Pretty much in front of the uprights, 30 out. It's there. So 2 points on the board to the Broncos. And Brad Fittler on the sideline.
How are you, Ray? Just on Jermaine, he also did the dropout where they regathered possession and sort of changed the momentum of the game last week. Just on conditions, it's about 19 degrees. There's a tiny, tiny breeze behind the Tigers. She's got to drop a couple of degrees for it to get a bit dewy, though. But the conditions are perfect. The grass is a little bit wispy, a little bit long, but fine for football.
So Brad Fittler on the sidelines with Gus Gould and Andrew Johns here. Darren Lockyer also down on the sideline, joining the panel pre-match half-time. And here's Lodge with a purposeful run, grimacing and gritting the teeth and hitting the defence line just inside the 20-metre line. Now the 10 brings it away for the Broncos. Davita Pangai Jr. We heard Brad talking about him. He's a New South Welshman. And whether or not he plays for Tonga, if they do have an international this year, will have a big bearing on whether or not he gets chosen, or considered, I should say, for New South Wales origin. Milford dropping it down on the 20-metre line. It dribbles down then to Thompson. Corey Thompson, former Bulldog, and then he went to Super League in England. Played with Widnes from memory. Got about 36 tries in 2 seasons over there. There's a run. And that was Nofaluma with the ball. He dropped it back down and it's dived on, thankfully, by Watene Zelezniak, but he's copped one down around the kidney area. 7th minute of the game. Broncos at 2-0. 3rd round of the Telstra Premiership. Here it is. There's an offload and then Watene Zelezniak. He cleans it up and cops a knee in the kidneys from the number 11 from the Broncos, Alex Green. Bulldogs, talking of Corey Thompson, formerly from the Dogs, they beat the Panthers earlier tonight at ANZ 20-18. You wouldn't believe it, they led again, or got led again by 14-0, the Panthers. What's going on there, Gus? They just love 14, do they?
Yeah, well, they can't keep doing it. They proved it tonight. Nathan Cleary didn't return to the field for the second half, which didn't help matters, and Bulldogs tackled pretty well.
McKilry with a dummy half scamper. As Andrew Johns will tell you, when the door is left open, you run through it. And here's Matalino, then to Lawrence, and it's a sort of catch pass. It probably could have been better directed than that, though. It's gone into touch.
And McKilrick took off from dummy half on the last play. Who was in dummy half there? The ball was supposed to go to Luke Brooks. You see the fullback there, Corey Thompson, was in dummy half and threw the ball to the wrong person on the last play.
Well, he threw it to the front rower.
That's a no-no.
Yeah, it's not your man making decisions on tackle 5.
Broncos back into the Tigers' half. As Milford drops off a short ball then for Matthew Lodge. Culloch has come through what he's been asked to do after that ACL injury. Here's a penalty going to the Broncos.
10 metre, Anthony.
Got them for inside the 10. And if they run true to form, they'll probably take another kick. They're at the same point that they were earlier.
Yeah, I think there's danger signs, though, in the West Tigers' defensive line. Now that they're 2 in front, they might try to make it 8. And they will. They'll kick for touch. But I just feel as though these halves fancy themselves a little bit here.
So Osako finding the line about 15 out. Down at the northern end of Campbelltown Stadium, they've gone to Pangai. They'll play it just inside the 10-metre line. Now McCulloch away, Maguire on. Milford had to reach back, got the ball to Glenn. Glenn held in an upright tackle. It was upright, but now he's been put to ground. So Brisbane on the attack strongly. Maguire makes a mistake. Picked up by the Tigers. It's play on. And they're out to their own 20. That's a let off there. Ball going to a forward on a play that probably should have been finding the playmakers.
Well, the play before, there's a penalty here to the Tigers. The play before that, Josh Maguire was in first receiver. He threw the long ball to Milford, which went behind, which snuffed out the attacking raid. And then here he is, first receiver, throws it behind the playmaker. And then the next play, he's in first receiver again. I'm pretty sure he's got 13 on his back, not 7. Anyway.
Is that how you'd like to get the ball, Andrew?
No, Gus. You know what would have been said to Josh Maguire.
Played there by Rocco. Now Matalino, he's big and strong, and Brooks to Lawrence. He puts it down. So they really didn't give themselves much time. It was very much a case of pressing the green button early on the count. And here's Corey Oates playing his 100th tonight. 4 origins for him. Playing on the wing still. He's told the coach, I'd like to have a go at the back row. Halfway line, centre ground. VB Friday Night Football. And Milford puts it on Matthew Lodge's stomach. Then from McCulloch, it's gone to Maguire. McKilrick making the tackle, wearing 14. Godinay coming off the bench. And this is Gillett. Put down on the 30-metre line. 2-0 in favour of Brisbane. Roberts dummy half. Nicarima. McCulloch. Maguire ran a decoy. Pangai Jr.'s got the ball. Looking to offload. Pulled down by Chris Lawrence eventually. Now for Milford. Kilrick going in a tad late. Oh, he's made a mistake down here in Nofaluma. He spilt the ball a metre out from the try line.
Well, great opportunity here for the Broncos, and we'll see whether or not their halves get first opportunity with the ball. Why do teams do that, Andrew? Why do teams persist in having forwards getting the ball first before they pass it to halves to run their plays?
I don't know. But it's not too bad early in the season, but come the winter time when the ball gets slippery and the surfaces get slippery, how many times you see the front rowers who are under fatigue fumble and bumble the ball and pass the ball backwards to a half? It doesn't make sense.
Brisbane with 6 players on the open side. That's where they've gone against 5 for the Tigers. Osako got a ball back to Roberts, and Roberts is taken by Nagama. And there's a Tiger down injured. The referee has stopped it. And it's Watene Zalesniak. He took that knee in the kidney area earlier.
He's not well at all. I don't know whether he's taken a separate head knock here, but he doesn't know. He's not well at all. I thought maybe he got a knock on the head, but I do think it's the original injury. In fact, he's left the field.
He's still holding on to that area of the back that he injured earlier on.
He's got his hand right on top of the hip, and sometimes you can get a really bad knock on the top there. It really corks that muscle that hangs over that hip bone there, and it's very, very painful. Let's hope that's all it is and nothing structural. but you can get a real contusion on top of that hip. Your muscle gets squeezed up there and it can hurt for ages.
That's Cheekham going on, Michael Cheekham. So the Broncos come to the middle of the ground with Maguire. And Packer is there with Matalino casting a big shadow over Maguire. And McCulloch goes back to the right. He's gone out from Nicarima onto Pangai Jr. Tavita to play the ball, 10 out. McCulloch, first receiver Nicarima. Second Milford, puts a little rubber kick in. Covering it up is Benji. Now they try to drag him back into the in goal. That would have been a penalty. And that's Nofaluma. A few metres out from the goalpost.
He read him beautifully there, Benji. You could see Milford's ears turning red. He knew there was something on.
Third tackle gone. They're only 15 metres out on 4. Packer might make the 20, but they've used 4. Now they're on 5. That's Matalino. So they're in the middle. 30 metres out. Benji goes long. Bounces down to the 20. Accepted by Corey Oates. And Luke Brooks tried to take him in an awkward fashion. Paid the penalty. McKilrick was left with the job. Now, here's Asako. Short of halfway. I think many of the West Tigers supporters will be breathing a sigh of relief that they've dodged a couple of bullets down the other end in recent times. Now for Lodge, who's shaped to go back in. And then he got hit by Rocco and by Matalino. McCulloch to the blind for Milford to go to the middle to Pangai. He always takes a look, doesn't he? And always seems to have the ball free. That's a penalty. Goes to the West Tigers. He didn't rise with the ball. I think that's the reason for the penalty.
Ben Matalino was at marker here. Now, this is the play. This is the incorrect play, the ball. But the tackle on Pangai Jr., Matalino was at marker. Really filled the gap on the inside. The ball went inside from Milford. It was great defence from Matalino.
Darius Boyd lodging a protest immediately, and suddenly the referee decided it was protest dismissed and gave the penalty to West Tigers. Let's get an update on the injury to Wateni Zalesniak, Brad.
Well, he just walked past and as suspected it's a hip pointer injury. I was talking to the doctor and not ruled out as yet for the rest of the game, but I'll find out in a couple of minutes.
Eisenhuth playing it just outside the 30-metre line. Parramatta Jr. Packer, Brooks, Cheekham coming off his left foot. Got a ball away to a run around from Thompson, who puts a desperate pass up in the air. And it's back with Cheekham. So the Cheekham and Thompson show. Brooks now look to go out to the open side, gone back blind side. Lawrence got it away to Nagama. And Nagama is going to be playing the ball 5 metres out from the corner post. Nagama then from Lawrence to Brooks. Here's a little grubber kick across. Oh! Thompson, other than for the uprights, Thompson gets a chance to score.
And for the second week in a row, the goalpost has saved the Broncos. Last week, it saved them in the last minute. This time, gee whiz, what's this? Corey Thompson looks certain to score. He's just waiting for the ball, and the upright gets in the way.
They must have brought that one with them.
Well, that means they got 14 players on the field.
Yeah. They've put that in their baggage, Gus.
The upright's playing for the Broncos.
Centre field scrum here. I think Benji Marshall, you can see him on the right here, talking to his troops. See Benji, first receiver.
Chance here for the Tigers. And Marshall comes drifting across the ground. And it was Jack Bird who tried to use Marshall's momentum to put him into the over the touchline. Now Nofaluma. He's 5 out. In fact, it was Masters. Now they've gone through 2 sets of hands to Matalino. So the former Warrior who came here this year was Russell Packer. And here's Brooks again, going short, finding Robbie Rocco. They're 5 out, 4 gone. West Tigers on the attack. Down 2-0, Packer. So here's the last. Marshall's to the right. Here's Brooks out on the left. He puts another little kick. That was played at. Oh, that was a bit stupid.
Okay, so 6 more tackles for played at. Now it's a Brisbane feed.
Yeah, no, Brisbane have got the feed because West Tigers didn't recognise that it was played at by a Bronco.
Yeah, some teams have different philosophies here when opposition teams go to grub a kick. But given now that fullbacks defend pretty much exclusively in the line and there's no one to protect the in goal, more and more teams are throwing their foot out and trying to trap the ball. Now the Tigers would have been better just to fall on that and play on with another set of 6. So the Broncos have dodged a bullet.
Osako. In 2018, Rugby League fans can stream all of Martin's NRL matches live and free on 9Now. You can download the 9Now app and watch Rugby League anytime, anywhere. So the Broncos, little knock on there. So the Tigers will come back with another shot. Jack Bird it was.
Have a look at the reaction of the Tigers, the West Tigers players here with the error from Jack Bird. Just watch the error. Big strong run from Jack Bird, and then the error, and just watch the reaction. Look at the team spirit. They're humming along. He's doing a great job, Ivan Cleary.
Just wait for me, Luke. Wait for me, Luke. Darius, head in.
So that's the 30-metre line. You can see in the top right-hand corner. McIlrick at the back of the scrum. Marshall using Thompson. Still the 30-metre line there for you. Now they're on the eastern side of the ground. There's Michael Cheetham. Just outside the 20-metre line now. McIlrick across the face of Madalino. Marshall Eisenhuth. 12 away. Third gone. McIlrick. Marshall. Showed it to Madalino. Gave it to Packer. And Russell will play the ball 8 metres away. Again a chance. Brooks. Oh, the pass is misdirected badly. Now that breaks down. A real chance there for them, and it's broken down. So it'll be a scrum with Brisbane's feed. Very untidy.
And the Broncos defence had them covered. They actually came back to the side of the field where they were outnumbered. And that forced the erratic pass.
Hold, boys, hold. Out.
Good crowd in the Golden West for Friday night. A little bit of rain in Sydney over the last few days, but the kiddies have turned up. There's always kids out here.
Bird. Boyd.
Corey Oates is in trouble on the left wing. Signal to the bench that he may be coming off. Lower leg injury. No, he's pointing to the hip.
Meantime, McCulloch is tackled. Following an offload from Lodge. Now Maguire. They approach the centre of the ground. Fifth tackle. Milford pilots this ball down. Bounces favourably for Thompson. He beats one. Swings into another opening. Referee ducks for cover. Good run from Corey Thompson.
He's a good kid. I couldn't work out why Corey Thompson had to go to England to keep playing. I was disappointed because he's an NRL player every day of the week, and he sort of went away for 12 or 18 months and was out of sight, out of mind. Picked up by the Tigers. Look at this. back at fullback. He beats people easily. He's got a good offload in him. And he's a million mile an hour. He scored the try in the first game in the last minute to win him a game.
Darren, a comment sideline.
Yeah, well, Corey Oates has just left the field. Broncos are lucky. Opacek, who's a specialist centre, he was on the bench. He's gone to the wing. He is a specialist centre, so they might want to test him out, the Tigers.
22.5 minutes gone. As Corey Oates goes up the tunnel.
It's around this time. What are we, 22 minutes into the game? This is when some of the big boys around the middle of the field start to get tired. A few opportunities the Tigers have been looking to go wide.
Brooks has found the line with a great kick. I didn't think it was going to make it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, maybe around the ruck. A few trick shots around the ruck, change of angles.
This is Masters. 57% of possession running with the Broncos. They go over to Eisenhuth. And he backs up to the 10-metre line. So Eisenhuth played the ball and Brooks turned it inside for Packer. It's a penalty to West Tigers against Brisbane for going too early. We saw plenty of this last night in Melbourne.
What are you doing, Benji? 2? Going for 2, Ash.
It's been the major talking point all day long. We'll take a break. They're kicking for goal. So there's a shot from the Broncos dressing room with work being done on Corey Oates as West Tigers prepare through Masters to raise the flags and level the scores. 25 gone. Masters to bring it up at 2-2. And that he's only just managed to do.
Well, it's a big talking point in the last couple of weeks, the amount of penalties for offside. Let's have a look at the play the ball and where the Broncos players were. Go back to the play the ball. They play it and they've taken off before the ball's cleared the foot. That's the different interpretation as what players have been used to over the last, I don't know, many years.
No,
it's only a yard difference, but they want the players to hold the line until the ball clears his foot. And they want the referee to say go. The referee believes they're in charge of that.
Oh, boys, stay behind.
There's not much difference, but they're going to keep penalising.
Everything you say is spot on, but it's not a change of rule. The rule has not changed. Let me emphasise that. It's the interpretation that has changed. Everything Gus said is right. But let me tell you that the rule book in association with it has not changed. It's that word interpretation. It's changed. Here's Madalino. He's been good, hasn't he, the big fella? Ball coming away from his grasp after I say it. Marshall dropped it down for Rocco. 20 out. They've used 3 and they're only on their own 20. Madalino. And they're taking in a big bear hug there by Corbin Sims. A couple of big men coming together there.
Marker.
The penalty there.
Not square.
Sims, not square, but it was on the back once again. Madalino charging into the line. Just love to see the Tigers link a little bit. They're going to an edge and having a look down one side, then they're reloading. Put another couple of settlers in. The same link sideline to sideline.
Chrissy Lawrence. His debut game was against the Broncos at Suncorp. He's only 17, Chris. That's an awesome experience, I would imagine. Played by Packer. McKilrick away to Eisenhuth. No look pass to Twal. Is it Twal? Is that the way to pronounce it, Gus?
100%.
9 metres out. McKilrick, Marshall behind the decoy, then to Brooks, now to Cheekham. And he had the opportunity, but he didn't have the sponsor with him. Then Brooks puts a little kick in, and it's going to be a line dropout.
Held there.
Zarko taking it to ground in goal.
Well, they're energetic, if not the Tigers. I mean, there's not a lot dangerous about their attack, but they're prepared to move the ball, and they're energetic in everything that they do, and that's just taking its toll on the Broncos a little bit here, who looked a lot better in the first 20 minutes than they do right at the moment. There's just a little bit of fatigue starting to get into their side, and maybe perhaps a little bit of frustration as well.
What a competitor this young fella, Kevin Nagama. Brilliant World Cup. But he's full of enthusiasm. Very effervescent player. I'd love to have 13 like him. So the 15 is this youngster, Twal, who I think he was with the Lebanese side through the World Cup. This is Eisenhu, just inside the 20-metre line. Now for Packer. That's the 10. They're right in front. McKilrick long and low. Brooks did well. Oh, that's a shocker. Bounced away from Marshall. Took the sting out of it. Oh, and Marshall drops the ball. But it's knocked backwards, said the referee. McKilrick, Marshall. Marshall across the back of the ruck, and Twal is over there. And a flick pass from Cheekham. It's knocked on. What are they doing here?
Well, that wasn't pretty. That was not pretty. It was all over the place.
That's the worst last play I think I've ever seen.
When Benji dropped that ball, the referee, Ashley Klein, took a motion forward that he was going to rule the knock on. Then he thought, oh, I can't embarrass him for that, I suppose, and ruled knock back. The referee was about to blow knock on and then decided not to.
Well, what happened there, Darren?
Yeah, I got no idea. I don't think they had any idea either, the Tigers. I think they're better off just tucking it under the arm and running forward and hard. Just an update on Corey Oates. He won't be back. That's also a hip problem. And the Tigers have said at half-time they will assess Martini Zelezniak and see if he can come back.
Well, it's bad luck. Well, right now we're dealing with Corey Oates. It was his 100th game tonight. Good young player. McDonald's scoreboard, it's 2-2 after half an hour of Friday night football. And a comedy of errors just then from the West Tigers. As Milford puts a kick up for Nagama, who flies above the pack. 15 out from his line. Played to Brooks. 17.
That's a run.
That's Aloye. That looks like Nofaluma being playing the ball in there on the 30-metre line. Chris Lawrence. Masters. It's his run to the halfway. 5 gone. Marshall. High. Zarko.
We haven't seen this kid in the open yet, but he looks very athletic, doesn't he? I reckon if he got through, he's got plenty of speed and some big steps.
Opacek.
Those boots are the brightest pair of boots I've ever seen. On a Zarko, wow.
So Milford goes behind the block runner and has gone away out there. To the 12 for the Broncos. Gillett. They're inside enemy territory now. Sims. Held there by Rocco and Twal. 40-metre line underneath to play the ball. Milford. Brisbane just ramping it up a little bit here. Nagama. Put A little shimmy together down there in the corner. He'll play the ball 9 out from his own line. This is Masters, big lump of a lad. Here it comes out the back, Brooks.
Leave him.
20-metre line then for the Tigers. We're at almost the 33rd minute of the game, and it's 2-all. We've got the Roosters in round 1, Melbourne in 2.
Very similar sort of games, aren't they? Oops.
The ball security has been awful in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Mark that one down. There's
Just waiting for these guys here.
Well, they defend. They defend like their life depends on it. They're not doing much in attack, but they defend well.
Well, it's all related, isn't it? You put all that effort into your defence, your attack's going to suffer. I just look at the Tigers. I don't know where the points are going to come from. Darren Lockyer.
They just give Anthony Milford a rap. I know the Tigers forced an error there, but it was coming off the back of, coming out of the corner. This is the kick of Milford's, and that's where you want to start the opposition every time they get the football down in that corner. They applied the pressure and forced the error. See what they can do with it.
Well, their first 2 games this year have been tryless first halves for both teams. Neither team has scored a try, and they're only 6.5 minutes away from completing the treble.
This is Sims. Milford. Held by McIlrack and Rocco, but he still manages to make the 20-metre line. They're in the middle of the ground. There's a knock on him to play the ball.
Might go down to Brad Fittler down there, or Darren Lockyer. I think Brad Fittler's down there. Is there a little bit of dew down there? The ball's looking a little bit slippery.
Yeah, that's what I said before. It's dropped a couple of degrees and the dew point's actually risen, Joey, so you're right. It's gotten very dewy over the last 10 or 15 minutes. I'm only going to suspect that's going to get more slippery in the second half. And Malachi Watene-Zelezniak, he's on the sideline. He looks ready to go.
So the dew factor.
Yours, mate.
You just have to get the professor to tell me at what point in time on the gauge it'll turn into dew.
Well, the dew point was 17 degrees, so we're just about to hit that rain now.
Here's a ball coming loose again with their thrown ball security out the door. Everything they do is a speculator. Doesn't matter whether they're inside their own 20 or inside the opposition 20. The coach, he wouldn't be happy. 2-all, getting close to half-time. Maybe there was a pinch there.
Well, the Broncos haven't offered much in attack either. They've only completed 10 of 15, most of their possession coming out of trouble, so they've got another opportunity here. I thought they'd wasted it.
Shot clock off.
Now they get another chance, a real good chance.
So Darius has had a fairly long conversation with his playmakers. They take the ball inside the 30-metre line. And Darius came in on that side and put it down.
It was a great defensive read there.
Chris Lawrence.
Was it Chris Lawrence, was it? Look at the team spirit, the way they're celebrating that error. As soon as he saw this block play coming, Chris Lawrence sprints out of the line at Darius Boyd. And with the slippery, dewy ball, just can't get the ball in his hands and tip it on to James Roberts. But that's really smart defence. A great read in defence and really aggressive defence there from Chris Lawrence. And look at the reaction of the Tigers.
So Sunday football comes from Toowoomba. Titans versus Dragons. 3 o'clock New South Wales and Victoria. 2 o'clock in Queensland. And Macca's Thursday night football next week. Cowboys Panthers from Townsville. Good Friday. Rabbitohs Bulldogs at ANZ in the afternoon at 3. And VB Friday night football on Good Friday. Sharks and Storm from Southern Cross Stadium at Cronulla. 35 away, 37 minutes gone, 4 tackles gone. We've got Tigers and Broncos tied up at 2-all. The Tigers have never in their short history. Here's Marshall. It's gone to ground. Roberts has got it. I think I'm right in saying they have not got away to a back-to-back sequence of 3 wins in a tournament ever. But it's not a matter of 3 wins. It's the clubs that they might beat. Roosters, Melbourne, and perhaps Brisbane. Now for Sam. Fido. Started the game as dummy half up at Jubilee in round 1. Passing there down through the middle, trying to expose a Packer or an Eisenhuth. And Milford loses his footing now that Jew has descended. Nicarima again with this midfield bomb. It will be hard to take. And that was Osaka who flew high. Masters has got the ball.
And this is, in these conditions, as a halfback, you have to change the game plan on the run. Slippery ball, chewy surface. Instead of trying to play around teams, you got to look to play through them. It's a running game. Change angles. No short passes in the line.
David Nokaluna.
Real arm wrestler here tonight.
Halfway line.
Well, a try for either side here will be huge.
Cheatham. That's Twile.
Strong, isn't he, Twile?
Both he and Eisenhuth, Parramatta juniors. Here's Marshall in and away and back, and Brooks comes onto the ball like lightning. Plays it on the 20-metre line. Marshall then, he's going to bomb for his left wing. Down towards Osako again. Oh, gee. He's been beautiful under the high ball. He's done some nice things, Osako. Now for Boyd. And we're inside the last minute of the opening stanza. VB Friday Night Football. 2-2. Now Roberts. Long ball away to Milford. Got to pass on. It's with the Opacek. And he'll play the ball 25 out from his line. 30 seconds of the half remaining. The ball with Alex Glenn now. Robbie Rocco, not hard to recognise. Getting some assistance from Twile. It's Corbin Sims, taken by Packer. And by Rocco. To the halfway line comes Brisbane. The 15 upper him, Gowie puts a kick in. And he kills whatever life is left in the half.
Yeah, he's saying, let's go and have an orange.
Thanks, Timmy.
Well, that is the 3rd consecutive game that the Tigers have played in where it's been a trialless first half. Roosters, Melbourne Storm and now Broncos. Neither team, Tigers or their opposition, have posted a try in the first 40 minutes.
All I can say is a roof.
Security. Call your mate off.
So here's the second half. 2-2 all the score. Broncos, I beg your pardon, 2 all the score. Broncos and West Tigers. Now for Robbie Rocco. Kilrick. This is Packer. Eisenhuth.
There's a high shot here from James Roberts.
James Roberts. That's where you are, Matty.
Late in the tackle count again. Big front rower coming down the short side. He gets up and... Really?
That's a soft one.
If you're penalising that, you're looking for them.
So the tap taken by the Tigers. 15 metres into Brisbane's territory. Comment from the sideline, Darren.
Yeah, Joe off and Gowie, who put the kick into touch just before half-time. He was in there in the sheds and he got assessed by the doctor. He's now in the HIA, but he has to wait 15 minutes for him to come back on there.
Masters taken just outside 10. Down that eastern side, the home side. Packer driving the ball to the 10-metre line, right in the centre of the park at the northern end. McKilrick goes back, puts some depth in the attack, and Brooks was there. That's Cheekham. 5 gone. Kilrick looking to Brooks for instructions. Here's Brooks in the open to the I thought for a moment that was home for Thompson. It's gone over the dead ball line.
You're going to check this, I think.
Yeah, well, it may well have been that Thompson got something on this. It's all knocked back by the Broncos.
We have no try.
It's a nice
Okay,
play.
So the Tigers knock on.
With Brooks
just
going,
making sure that no Brisbane player interfered with Luke Brooks before he makes contact with the ball.
Brooks goes from the long side to the short side, which brings up Asako. Darius Boyd's in the defensive line.
Left side kick chase is onside. Going through to the contest.
Well, he's knocked that on.
Does he play it? Does Asako hit the arm before the ball gets to him?
Well, he's hit the arm there.
He's already played at the ball, the West Tigers player, Thompson.
He's hit it there.
There it is there.
Now he can play with whatever he likes.
He's entitled to try and tackle him.
He's got the ball.
We have a knock on from Corey Thompson in the end goal. We have a decision.
It was actually really poor defence by the Broncos. I mean, James Roberts came in and just allowed that little passage there for Corey Thompson to sneak through.
So no try, that's no big surprise, and play restarting from the 20-metre line with an option as we watch it again.
Yeah, James Roberts just came up and in for no reason. And Corey Thompson was able to get a passageway through to chase that kick.
Boyd underneath that avalanche of defence. That's Sims almost breasting through there. He played the ball 8 metres out. Darren again.
Just to clear up Joe off and Gowie, you can see them, he's coming up the sideline ready to come back on. So the 15 minutes he served was over half time.
Friday. Play now just on West Tigers' side of halfway. And Milford drops it on the right foot and taken brilliantly by Corey Thompson. Ring of defence around him. Good chase by the Broncos. Kicking into the corner, defenders keen, circling the opposition. Here's Brooks trying to step his way through some forwards. Gillett making the tackle. Chris Lawrence losing the ball in the tackle. So it's going to be a loose head and feed to Brisbane.
Just waiting for these guys here, Ash, and they're up.
Well, the Broncos really tried to up the tempo there with their defensive line. They're going to try and lift this game to a different pace and see if the Tigers can go with them. And when Wayne Bennett coached teams try to lift the pace, they do it with their defence, their kick chase, and their speed of the play the ball. They want to play the ball quicker. He just gets those 3 basic things right, and he figures then it's up to the opposition to come with you.
Let's go in, Corey.
He'll then trust his playmakers to come up with something.
Let's go in, boys. There's no clock.
43rd year of coaching for Wayne Bennett. 790 top-grade games. Started coaching back at Ipswich in 1976. Played for Australia, played for Queensland. So that's off a Hangawi now. He's right in the middle of the ground. They're 25 out, the Broncos. Milford takes it to the line. Friday was with him. And he'll play the ball 12 out. McCulloch. Milford again. Showed it to Sims. Gave it to Offa Hangawi. Penalty goes Brisbane. Hand on the ball.
Inside 10. 2, mate. 2. Down for 2.
They're going to take the kick. We'll take a break and come back. Hand on the ball. Two all then, and that's about to change, you would think, with Asako to raise the flags from this gift penalty right under the bar almost for hand on the ball against Michael Cheekham. 6 minutes of the second half gone. Osako brings up the flag. It's 4-2 now in favour of the Broncos.
Looking at Jermaine Osako boots there. Gus, back in the late 70s, if you wore those boots to Campbelltown when Tommy Raudonikis and Les Boyd and Dallas Donnelly was playing, what would happen? Back in the good old days.
Stay behind the kicker!
Well, they'd probably be ripped from his feet and thrown onto the grandstand, and he wouldn't be long after it, I'd say. The times have changed, Joey. It's all about the marketing dollar and the pretty boots.
The pink Nikes.
Back in the day, they just wore black boots, white laces.
Off of Hingawi.
Used to clean your laces every week and polish your boots.
I don't think it would have been a Campbelltown, Joe. I think you're talking about Lidcombe. They came from Pratton Park to Lidcombe. Back in the days you're talking, Roy Masters.
Sorry, Robs.
No.
Yeah. You know what I mean, out west.
Absolutely.
Do you remember the big white tape laces? Used to be wrapped around your boots. Used to clean them, hang them on the clothesline.
Beautiful.
Clean your boots on the morning of the game.
Here's Gillett. McCulloch. Short side. Nikorima kicks it back across in front of the uprights. And Nokaluma it is who played the ball on the 20-metre line. So 4-2 in favour of the visitors.
I'll get some old vision of the black boots with the white tape, Liz, so we can show the young fellas what it was all about.
That's Masters.
Nowadays they have them in any colour. As soon as one of these blokes gets a new colour, your kids want those colour boots, costing dads a fortune.
Twal.
I want the pink boots, I want the yellow boots, I want the blue boots.
Godinay is on. A run for Nokaluma.
Puce, is puce a colour?
Yes.
I want the puce boots.
Brooks. Oh, and it's gone straight through him.
It's those boots.
Taken middle stump. The man with the pink boots. Brad Fitt was sideline.
Well, I used to get my boots for my birthday because my birthday was in February, just before the season started. And I remember the first time I got the Adidas Valencias and I cried.
Your birthday was in February.
That's this February, you got those.
Yes. Your house sounded like it wasn't always in February. Anyway.
I never always got birthday presents, Rabs. That's how we grew up.
We used to get sponsored boots. You go to the boot manufacturer, they give you a new pair of boots. And the last year I went there and they said, these are the ones Paul Langmaker's wearing. I knew it was time to retire.
Milford kicking high down the throat of Thompson. And Nikorima making the tackle with some help there from Gillett. Nagama. Have you finished? Nopaluma. Godinay. Rocco. Over halfway, good run. Has plenty of meat in that run. Godinay. Took a look over his right shoulder. There's nobody there. He's lost the ball, Masters.
Boys, first one this way, Tigers.
And a double knock on, but it'll be the Broncos to get the advantage.
Now, for those people that haven't seen the West Tigers play so far this year, I mean, they've beaten the premiership favourites, the Roosters. They've beaten the premiership favourites, the Melbourne Storm. And both games looked exactly like this. Exactly like this. So don't go anywhere. I know we haven't got a lot of tries, but this is exactly how those two big wins have been achieved.
Billions is the show everyone is talking about. It's back for a brand new season on Sunday, only on Stan. If you want to go into the world of money and revenge, you need to watch Billions. Premieres this Sunday, only on Stan. Sims crossing halfway. Nikorima, dummies and cuts through. He's got one to beat. Comes to the, it's gone to ground. Picked up by Osako. Lawrence takes him with Thompson.
Gillett pull his hands away.
So to the middle of the ground with 2 passes. Boyd inside, thigh Dave, taken by Twal and Eisenhuth. 9 metres from the line, the Broncos. Milford. Held by Rocco, 5 and last. McCulloch behind one. Boyd stabs it in. There's a chance. Oh, I don't know whether he got downward pressure, Jack Bird. I don't know that he got downward pressure. Jack Bird has appealed for a try, and it's been knocked down or knocked back by
Jack Bird actually
Klein.
touches it, but he doesn't have downward pressure and he knocks it on.
He definitely got his hand to it, but he's got to squeeze this against the turf.
Brisbane left side kick chase is cleared as being onside. We've got no touch by West Tigers in the lead up.
Well,
that shot you can't tell off that shot, but
there's no.
I think he gets a hand. I think he rolls his fingers down the ball here.
Yeah, but there's no. Well, yeah, there could be a little. Let's have a look here.
How much pressure needs to be put down on the ball?
Well, the operative word is downward.
The ball's on the ground. He's only got to touch it.
He's given it a brush.
He's only got to touch it. The ball's on the ground. Yep.
Yeah, he gets a hand on it there, so it's a try.
Yep.
So
he comes down. The ball's on the ground. That's a try.
You reckon there's downward pressure?
That's a try. Well, what's downward pressure?
There's no grounding by Brisbane. Jack Bird gets a right hand to the ball, does not ground the ball in the in goal, which constitutes a knock on. We have a decision.
Wow.
Okay, boys.
Wow. So if the ball's on the ground and he gets his hand to the ball and the hand's coming down.
No try.
Knock on 20 metres.
Just go through that. The ball's on the ground.
Yeah, the ball's on the ground.
He gets his hand on the ball.
But I'm talking about
was there downward pressure? Well, his hand comes down. His hand comes down, does it not? Watch it. Watch it. Does his hand come down? His hand comes down on a ball on the ground, and his hand comes down.
He's pushed the ball.
He's come down on the ball. He didn't push at the ball. His hand's come down on the ball.
I think he pushed the ball.
Well, so did the video referee, funny enough.
I did that on purpose.
Eisenhuth. Funnily enough.
Well, I want a definition of downward pressure. His hand came down, the ball was on the ground.
Godinay, Matalino. And a penalty here against Brisbane, offside.
Well, where are the points going to come from, Gus? Maybe an offload or a last play. I can't see the Tigers breaking down this defence.
Well, I think the Tigers have got to go for an early kick. I think Benji or Luke Brooks has got to get Darius Boyd up in the line, put the ball behind the line. And even if they don't score, it's a bit of a warning to Darius Boyd. He can't be up there putting a 13-man defensive line in. And it just might produce the points. A kick on tackle 3 or 2 or 3 or 4 might make the difference.
Here's Eisenhuth turning it in for Twal. Just outside the 30-metre line. West Tigers coming down the middle. Godinay, Matalino. To the 20 now. Similar distance in from the western touchline. They go blindside to Brooks. He rolls it in. Cheekham. Cheekham has scored. Oh, yes. Michael Cheekham has scored. You've only just finished uttering the word.
Tackle 3. Bring Darius Boyd up. Grab it, kick it in behind the line. That's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it.
6-4 in favour of the Tigers.
That's a beauty. That's a beauty. Comes around the short side on tackle 3, brings the Harvey Norman replay, puts the ball in behind the line. They make no effort to stop the ball chasers, and Cheekham gets the try to give them the go-ahead score. The early kick, oldie but a goodie. We used to do it when we had black boots. Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, Corbin Sims was caught in the tackle and he couldn't get back to a defender, which brought Darius into that position. He had to come in, Darius. Quick thinking there by Luke Brooks. Nice effort, the Tigers. You see here, Sims is late. Darius has got to get in the line. I know he gets in the line a lot, but he had to come into the line that time. He tries to strike the football with his own foot, but unsuccessful. Just an update, you saw Tavita Pengo Jr. on the sideline earlier. with some ice under his hamstring there. He will not be back.
Darren, before you go, did you have an opinion on the Jack Bird no try?
I think there was some downward pressure there.
Fair enough. Looks like I'm outvoted. Masters then.
You didn't yell at him like you yelled at me.
Masters. Oh, he's bringing it back, but not quickly enough.
Masters conversion attempt is unsuccessful. Now West Tigers lead the Brisbane Broncos 6 points to 4. And Michael Cheekham's try sees West Group MacArthur donate $1,000 to Abbott Public School.
Just wait.
So back at Campbelltown, and 6-4, the home side in front. Last 7 games, in fact all the games played at Campbelltown since the joint venture started. There was 1 draw, that was on the first occasion, and then the next 6 matches have been won by Brisbane. So in point of actual fact, West Tigers at Campbelltown have never beaten Brisbane. And right now, the Giant Killers are 6-4 up after 15 minutes of the second half.
That's a great kick by Benji Marshall.
So with the ball is Asako. Good tackle in there by the try scorer, Michael Cheekham. There's Roberts.
Now that they get their nose in front, they swarm up and they put a lot of pressure on the opposition. This is just action replay.
Opacek.
Oh, wow.
Michael Cheekham penalised for offside.
Broncos were going nowhere there. They were going absolutely nowhere. They weren't in position. They weren't. Look at them bunched behind to play the ball. They're going nowhere. Nowhere. They don't deserve a penalty. But the referee will piggyback him out of the thing because someone's half a yard offside.
I think we've evened up the sets now.
If a policeman booked you for doing 61 in the 60 zone, would you be filthy?
Yeah, of course you would.
Of course you would be. But you're still speeding, aren't you? That's what they're doing out here. They're booking people for doing 61 in the 60 zone.
So he's now a revenue raiser, is he?
He's a highway patrolman. Ashley
Klein, the highway patrolman, eh? You can put a good twist on things. Here's Sims. McCulloch. Brisbane then looking to return serve. 8 metres out from the West Tigers line. McCulloch throws the dummy and he's over, but they've turtled him. Tackle 4. And will send them back to play the ball. McCulloch.
With your foot, Andrew. Tackle 4. Don't push them when they're going in like that, Joe.
So here they come again, Brisbane. Milford kicks. Gillett's after it, but so is Nagama in front of him. So line drop out, more pressure will come from Brisbane. Milford. Drilling it in. Roberts was after it, but it was far too adventurous, really. And Nagama won the race. Anticipated the best.
Stay behind! Before the line, Benji.
The drop out from Benji goes all of 49 metres. And here's Lodge galloping back to the 30-metre line. Taken there by Godinez. Now for Arthur Hingawi. 25 out, down the middle. Brisbane launching up another attack. Boyd, Roberts. Roberts in and away and still going. Oh no, there's a penalty to West Tigers.
Yeah, Matt Gillett. But Darius Boyd, we go back to the play the ball. Darius Boyd catches the ball on the inside of the lead runner here. You watch Darius Boyd, he comes out the back. of Maguire. He catches the ball on the inside, then goes around the back. But the penalty is for Gillett, who goes into the line and knocks Luke Brooks over.
Here you go.
So West Tigers dodging another one. Matt Gillett, the offender on that occasion. It could have been probably thought that Darius was the offender, but Andrew's right. The block runner has taken a would-be defender out of the defensive line. Played by Chris Lawrence then. Out for Robbie Rocco. Just a few metres inside the opposition territory. Godinay spun the ball away and it's gone out there for Aloye. 28 metres out from the line. Godinay goes to the blind side again. Masters 25 out. Brooks in the middle, over the 20, back for Marshall. Heard a call inside, went outside. Cheekham will play the ball. Godinay, the number 9 into the game, has been for quite some time. Brooks then, back for Thompson, and was he taken out? It's with Darius Boyd. Play on is the call under the groan of a crowd.
Well, they look nonplussed, the visitors. They look a little bit like the Roosters and Melbourne did. The swarming, quick-moving, enthusiastic defence of the Tigers is just bustling them out of it.
Now we've had an hour of play. It's the West Tigers leading by 2. There's Lodge. And suddenly, possession swings to the West Tigers. Rocco takes a settler inside the 30. This is Masters to the 20-metre line. 20 metres in from touch. Eastern side of the ground. Here's Matalino. He was good early. Now he's 12 out. High ball for Marshall. 17 runs hard, Aloye. 3 out from that line. 2-point ball game after an hour. Marshall high. Brooks, rubber kick. Fancy. It bounced up nicely for Darius Boyd. He'll play the ball 12 metres out. The Broncos bunched up behind to play the ball. And this is off of Hengawi. Reaching the 20 on the second tackle.
We're inside the last 20 minutes now.
Masako. McCulloch. Maguire. Reaching 40. 4th tackle gone. Now for Lodge. Back to Nikorima. Over the halfway. Roberts tries to spiral his way out of the Nagama tackle. Back again for the kick. Nikorima it is. He punches it down into Thompson's corner. He's off his left foot a couple of times and then loses his footing. And I think he's hurt himself too.
Tackle 1.
Corey Thompson.
Yep.
He attacked this ball. Great footwork. A bit of knock to the head there. Alex Glenn, when he slips, I think Alex Glenn collects him high. All accidental. One of those players can change direction and not lose speed.
He's copped it. He's copped it almost every part of the body, Corey Thompson. They're just outside the 30 now. And a good, strong effort there. And a penalty for Nofaluma on the halfway line for West Tigers. Marshall just settling them down.
Well, they'll be getting very nervous now, the Broncos. Tigers with a 2-point lead. the next try the Tigers scores, if they can get one, could be the knockout blow.
So Brooks finding the line just beyond the 30-metre line. Marshall has called the play, and it involves Aloye on this occasion, and his head went jolting back. Players inside the 30. This is 12, the 15. Now they're 18 metres out. Tigers by 2. Marshall then on the blind side. He puts a grubber in. Boyd has got over the top of it.
I think the touch judge called this ball forward from the dummy half to Benji Marshall.
Okay, we are all up, mate.
So we're going back.
Just here.
It was the early kick then also, Gus.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what that'll have the effect, now they've done it both sides of the field, and it is terrible pass out of dummy half. It'll have the effect of making Darius Boyd stay out of the defensive line. If they've shown they're prepared to kick on tackle 2 or 3, Darius Boyd, who loves to live up in the defensive line, has got to be thinking twice. That might provide a spot if he doesn't get up there.
Brisbane then working it away from their own goal line. Yeah, in the comments.
Yeah, down there on the sideline, the crowd's playing its part too now. Every mistake the Broncos make, they cheer, and every good play the Tigers come up with their cheer, so they're getting on the back of the energy of the crowd, the Tigers.
Lodge on his own 40-metre line. McCulloch with a little run. Good run, in fact. It's gained another 10 metres. 4th tackle gone for the Broncos at the 64th minute of this one. West Tigers, they've never won through at the start of the season in those 1, 2 and 3 rounds. And Thompson tries to get back.
On the line, guys. When he first grounded it, it was on the line.
Lovely kick. Backed up by a really good chase.
So the goal line is part of the in-goal.
Thank you for your support tonight, West Tigers members and fans. Tonight's official attendance, 11,000.
Well weighted, beautifully placed into the corner. James Roberts does really well. He gets a couple of checks in running, but he just keeps coming. And then they're able to work together. He and Milford to pin Corey Thompson in the in-goal. Down on the line means in the in-goal. What have they got, the Broncos? It's pretty much just a repetition of the same stuff. They've looked most dangerous when they've tried to play out of dummy half rather than moving it wide.
Well, that's another good dropout with the bounce. They've been able to come right down to the 40-metre line. Rocco went in awkwardly on Lodge. So Lodge playing the ball just outside 30. Sam Thaiday with a run. Taking Chris Lawrence on together with Matalino. They're at the 20-metre line. They're picking up good field position here. Gillett is now to play the ball on the 10-metre line. 3-man West Tigers tackle, including Nagama. They go across to the middle for McGuire, and he's taken by Godinay and Matalino. Packer had a little piece of it. Now McCulloch sweeps it across to Milford. He cuts out 2. Boyd is in. They go for the corner. No.
What a tackle.
I think a topper check has failed, but it's a great tackle.
They're Nofaluma.
Well, he's the one that's copying the embracement.
He looked to kick the ball, Milford, and the outside defenders went to cover it for the Tigers, and he throws the ball wide. Have a look at this tackle from the inside from Nofaluma. Wow. That's commitment. Look at that.
I was watching Darius Boyd in back play. He showed the utmost frustration at this end result.
There's a problem for Benji Marshall in the in-goal. He's hobbling. I think he's gone for the game, Benji. He's walked up the field.
So it's with Watene Zelezniak. And there's the indication that Benji is gone for the night. Or in fact, was that a signal that we've got to tape him up? Packer.
Well, there's no replacement come to the sideline as yet.
Rocco. Lodge and Thaiday making the defence. Now Matalino. 38 metres out from their own line. The West Tigers with 13 minutes to go. It's a high kick down to Isako. Brings it out to the 30-metre line. Nikorima goes into acting half. Roberts calls it blindside. Three-man tackle from the Tigers. Nagama, Lateni Zalesniak, and Brooks. Now Gillett, hit by Packer.
He's about to join the line, Benji Marshall, but he can just run. I'll target him in the line.
There's Nikorima. They go across to Boyd. Boyd away to Bird. Oh, Bird loses the ball. Was it knocked out by the tackler?
There's Benji Marshall.
Marshall again clutching at that left ankle. This is Nofaluma inside the 40-metre line. Playing it back to Godinay. There's Benji down in the left corner. 32 metres out. And still a two-point ball game. The home side in front. Lawrence. Under 12 minutes of this match remaining. Madalino for Packer. The props take it inside the 20. Godinay. Brooks coming back into McCulloch's arms. 8 metres away from the line now. Benji's back in the line. They go over to, I think that's Twal, is it not? Or is it Aloye? And I think he's short.
Yep. It's going to be a handover, boys.
Yeah, but smart play there. Don't want to risk putting the ball dead, giving the Broncos 7 tackles.
Hold there, guys.
Hold, boys,
Don't
hold.
block it. Just use your
Hold
foot,
here.
Dario.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't run hard.
He did run hard. Friday, his own 10-metre line on camera. Now for Gillett. Beats the tackle of Nagama the first time, but Nagama chases with Packer. Matt Gillett. Nikorima giving it to Sims, and he's taken by Packer and Aloye. 35 out from their own line. This is the fourth. Maguire with the big run. 3 metres into Tigers territory. Now we've got 10 minutes to go. Here's McCulloch in the line. And it's going to be a changeover.
It's an exact replay of everything we've seen in the first 2 weeks in the West Tigers. Swarming defence, refusing to give up. Not all that scientific, but it's energetic, and the Broncos are frustrating themselves into errors.
Masters on his own 40-metre line. Nofaluma. Gillett combines there with Nikorima to make the tackle. Godinay looking for a call from Lawrence. Crowd absolutely enveloped by this one. He came here knowing the assignment up until now has been impossible against this opposition. Here is Thompson in from the back. 28 metres out from the line. And we're going into the final tackle. Marshall rolls it end on end. In behind Opacek.
A smart kick there by Benji Marshall. Give his forwards 20, 30 seconds rest. They are out on their feet, the Tigers forwards.
Sunday, we come to you from Toowoomba, Titans and Dragons. And then on Thursday night, Cowboys, Panthers from Townsville. And Good Friday, a double header. Rabbitohs, Bulldogs in the afternoon. And VB Friday night football, Sharks and Storm. So it's a double header Good Friday.
Shot clock off. Now, Anthony.
You'll see it live and free.
Put it in front of the prop.
And
at least 1 foot, eh?
In HD on 9.
Hold there, boys.
Let's go down. Put it in.
So Milford working this scrum 10 metres out from his own line. Bird. making his debut appearance for Brisbane tonight. Friday tackled on the 20-metre line. Strong defence from Lawrence and Packer. Packer again in that tackle with Natalino. 8 minutes to go in the game. Nicarima putting the ball out in front of Corbin Sims. He's galloped into open territory. Milford's with him. Couldn't get a ball to him. And he's still playing on, breaking the tackle. 25 out. Great run by Corbin Sims. Now for the captain. Darius is up to the 10. Scampers out of one tackle. Turns the ball back and down to Glenn. He'll play the ball 10 metres out. West Tigers hanging on at the moment. Now it's come away to Milford. He comes long to Nicarima. He goes out to James Roberts, loses his footing. Ball gets to Gillett now. He'll play the ball inside the 20.
Look at the Tigers players. They're out on their feet. They are out on their feet. This last 7.25 minutes is going to seem like an eternity.
Pick it up. Pick it up. Arm off. Pick it up, Russell. Time's
But they
off.
keep finding a way.
With your foot.
They just keep getting there.
That's Wateni Zelezniak.
You believer yet, Rabbits? Are you a believer yet?
It's hard to believe it. The Tigers have never kept the Broncos tryless. Is another stat that David Middleton has just provided. They've never kept the Broncos tryless and have not held an opposition side tryless since round 13 of 2012. That was against Canberra. A 40-0 scoreboard at the end. Right now, they're 2 points in front. And the Broncos are desperate for possession. Played by Packer right in the middle of the ground. Marshall again puts it point on point. Taken by Opacek. So Brisbane with Opacek, he'll play the ball 35 out from his own line. Thaiday is coming back on side still, and so is Sims. In fact, to tell you the truth, Thaiday and Sims would have been deemed out of play on that last play of the ball. In other words, they can't take part in that play. Now Sam is obviously injured and being escorted away by Alan Langer. It's come away then to Nicarima. It's found Roberts. He's found Asako. He got rid of the ball before being taken into touch. 30 metres out from the line now. It'll be played by Boyd.
Oh.
And Chris Lawrence is given a penalty.
Well, that's a big play. Big play from Asako.
Darius.
Big play.
They go for 2 here.
They can't
Darius
possibly be
Freedom.
thinking goal. They've got to put it out.
2.
No.
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Going for 2.
He's kicking for goal. We'll take a break and come back for it.
Wow.
Yeah, just there,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, I'll get out of the line, mate. Slow, mate. It's too slow.
Interchange made by the West Tigers.
6-4 to score. Asako's got a shot at goal to level.
Well, I wonder where this decision came from. I mean, he might be a freak of a goal kicker. Darren Lockyer tells me he's a pretty special kicker of the ball.
Yeah, with these extra longer kicks, Asako will have to put an extra 10-15% on this kick. When you do that as a right footer, the ball will swing more right to left. We want to start this kick at that right upright.
He kicked 4 from 4 last weekend. And in Holden Cup under 20s, he was kicking at a success rate of 72%. He's 30 out. He's 7 in from touch. It's on its way. It's coming back. He's kicked it from the sideline almost.
Incredible.
6-all.
Well, that gets them level. It doesn't get them in front. But gee whiz, I thought the Tigers were gone. I think the Tigers would have welcomed the penalty goal. I don't think they would have welcomed the Broncos playing on.
Stay behind,
Now we're in
guys.
field goal
Stay
territory.
behind.
Benji Marshall, Luke Brooks. Milford. They're the ones you're looking for.
Brad Fittler on the sideline.
Yeah, well, the decision came from the players. It wasn't from Wayne or any of the coaching staff. The decision came from the players to kick the goal. They fully trust in young Jermaine.
Corbin Sims. His run took them deep into enemy territory. It was a wonderful run by Corbin. Played then by Glenn. Now for Maguire. Surging up the ground come the Broncos. Lodge. That's 5. So field goal would be out of the question. Milford it is that puts a big kick down to Thompson. He
dropped it.
He lost it.
He dropped it.
Corey Thompson's knocked on.
Russell Packer gets out from marker and puts a lot of pressure on Milford. Milford has to rush the kick. I think he miskicks it, but he gets a good spiral on it, and this ball goes through his arms onto the ground. That's a fumble. That's a bobble.
So Brisbane come up with a wonderful opportunity.
Look at that floating, spinning. The ball gets through between his arms and hits the deck. Great kick. Now, what are they thinking here? Are they thinking field goal straight away, or are they going to try and score a try?
Well, Sarko's in at first receiver.
Stay there, Corey. Out to one side.
So they go to Jack Bird. He's taken by Masters over in the southeastern corner of this ground. It comes from Opacek back to Boyd. Boyd to Sims. And Corbin to play the ball 10 out in front of the uprights. Here they go. It's gone back to Milford. Steps off his right again. And he's pulled down by Packer.
Asarko's in position.
Here's Asarko having a shot. Has plenty of time, but pushes it wide, does he?
No, it's gone through.
It's gone through, has it? He's put his arm up.
They're all celebrating.
So the Broncos have grabbed 1 point lead.
Well, he's as cool as a cucumber, this kid.
Is he what?
Big penalty goal kick. Got in position. He's nailed that.
Well, he's kicked the penalty goal from, you might as well say, the touchline a matter of 5 minutes ago. Now he's put the drop goal over to put the Broncos ahead by 1 point with 90 seconds to go. A shallow restart, and the West Tiger, he left the field of play to bat it back in. That was Watene Zelezniak. It was going out on the full. It's now down to Nagama.
That's a massive play.
So Watene Zelezniak on the back of that play takes the play to the 30-metre line, and they will get a chance to level the game up. There's 55 seconds to go. They've gone over to Rocco. This will be tackle 5, and they're now 12 metres out. Brooks wants it. Brooks sets himself for it. And yes, has he done it?
Yep.
Yes, he has. So Brooks has brought them level.
7-7. Let's have a look at the kickoff again and see how they got this ball back into play. Here's the field goal from Brooks. Straight down the middle, no problem there. But the short kickoff had to be accurate. It looked like it was going out on the full. Watene Zelezniak jumps from the field of play, knocks it back in. It's only got to break the plane. It doesn't have to land.
That's a super play. And then Brooks, off the work of Watene Zelezniak, is able to level. There's 90 seconds left on the clock from the time Watene Zelezniak batted that ball back into play.
You can't kill them with an axe, the West Tigers. Now, he's got to be really careful here with a short kick-up. I'm not sure that this is such a great play. Well, I would hope he goes long.
It's certainly gone long. It's gone down deep inside the in goal. Masters comes back and is able to download the ball to Nopaluma. Meantime, the clock creeping down. Oh, Packer picked up and whacked into the ground by Sims and Lodge. Now Eisenhuth taken by Roberts.
One play left.
Godinez takes it to ground. So at the end of regular time, it is 7-all. Well, it might have been a scrappy old game and lacking in a bit of colour, but my goodness, it's had some excitement.
Oh, yeah. I think it draws a fair result. I think I'd like to see them all go home with a point. But we're going to keep playing until we get a winner. Golden point extra time. The Broncos have never won a golden point period without scoring a try. Never won a game without scoring a try. Well, they haven't scored a try. They've kicked 3 penalty goals and a field goal. I see. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, they're all pretty quiet. The Tigers are just waiting for some instructions. They're pretty cool, calm and collected. He's going to head over to the Broncos, and Alfie's in the middle here. He's giving all the directions.
Okay, 5 minutes each
Alex
way here,
Lynn's got
guys.
plenty to say. I notice Alex Twall's about to come back on as an interchange.
Well, that's a massive play, getting that kick-off back, because it looked to be going way out of bounds. Watene Zelezniak leaped from the field to play. Here's the first field goal from Asako, straight down the middle. Here comes the restart. Up it goes. It's out into the crowd. Watene Zelezniak says, "Not on my watch." He gets it back. And then Brooks levels up at 7-all. It's a funny game, rugby league.
Who do you like?
Tigers. All the energy's with the Tigers. And when you go to Golden Point, I like the team that's come from behind to get into Golden Point. They just seem to have that little bit of fizz about them. The Broncos were celebrating as though they'd won. Now they find themselves having to win it again. The Tigers, they just keep doing what they're doing. Hustle, bustle.
Win or lose, it's been a magnificent start for West Tigers with the 2 scalps that they've already got on their belt, and still the likelihood of another big scalp here. A team that most probably were thinking of the spoon. Asako has been very, very good.
Well, they've only scored 27 points in 3 games. It'll be remarkable if it produces 3 wins.
So Asako sends it deep down to the try line, and Russell Packer brings it back 12 metres out from his line. So we're in Golden Point here at Campbell's Line. You're watching it, VB Friday Night Football, live and free on 9. Here's Eisenhuth, 25 out from his own line. Second tackle gone. Brooks falling into the tackle there from Cody Nikorima. Now for Lawrence. So 4 tackles are gone. They've only got it 35 away from their own line. So Brooks gives it plenty. Down to Boyd. Darius then heading up the ground to the 30. Taken by Rocco and Twal. So Brisbane. That's just their second. They're almost to the halfway. Alex Glenn with a surge. Now they're just outside the 40. They should get somewhere near the 30-metre line, you would think. McGuire taking the 4th tackle. Now for Lodge. He cracks the 30-metre line. Almost gets it to the 20.
Great game.
So here is the attempted drop goal. Milford stepping away, looking to find a gap. Kicks ahead. There was a player felled, and it's with Thompson at the back. 10 out from his own line. Nopaluma.
It'll be interesting to see if we get a 10-metre penalty in Golden Point.
Here's Brooks to the 30-metre line Forwards retiring with their back turned. Bateni Zelezniak. 4 tackles gone. They're not to the halfway yet, as you can see. Good shot.
Corbin Sims.
He's pulled off a couple of absolute bone crushes. Now Marshall drives it down.
Oh, great.
Sitting down. The chase is good. And the Garma it is that is there to make the tackle on Boyd.
When Benji Marshall was young, he kicked the field goal from his own side of halfway here at Campbelltown. I thought he was going to line one up there from 45. Brilliant kick, though.
So this is Opacek.
The young Benji Marshall would have gone for the field goal.
Milford trying to press through the gap. Almost 3 minutes gone in Golden Point. Maguire just outside the 30. In fact, it finished just inside the 40. So Brisbane on their last. And Gillett puts a kick in. Well taken by Thompson. Outside the 30 on the first tackle. And then forced back and down by Jack Bird. This is Nofaluma. And West Tigers not really going anywhere. 2 tackles gone, both on the 30. Rocco straight ahead to the 40.
Been strong, Rocco. He played the full 80.
I think he has played unbroken. I didn't know he was that big. He's a big unit, isn't he? Halfway line. 12. So it has his 5 and last. They're just into Brisbane's area. And Benji puts it up high. Taken by Darius. Reaching the 20-metre line. 4 1/4 minutes gone in Golden Point. Osako. That's the 30. Lodge. Opacek took the place of Corey Oates. Back to Opacek. Taken on the halfway, not held. Got away from Twal. Taken by Lawrence and Brooks. Got the ball away as he went to ground to Bird. And Bird will play the ball 35 metres out from the Tigers line. That's 5 for Maguire. So they set up again. And the ball goes back, way back to Milford. Milford's kick at goal, coming around, and it's wide.
That'll be the end of time. 5-minute period gone. First 5-minute period.
But you still might get your wish.
Well, both sides worked hard there. There was only 1 shot at field goal in the 5-minute period. Broncos set up a couple of times and Milford was harassed on tackle 5. Finally got one away and missed. Let's have a look. He was leaning. Now it's swinging. It's swinging away. Swinging away. So Tigers will kick off. Broncos will get the ball again. I think a draw is a very fair result.
Lots of messages going out, Gus, your coach.
Oh, crikey. They've all been down this road a number of times. I don't think they need much from the coach here. They've been at training. They'll have been in this simulation a number of times, working for field goal, trying to stop field goals. Where do we get when they're going to kick? Where do we get to when we're looking to kick? Just hold your nerve. They don't need anything from the coaches now. This is the players are deciding it. The offside penalties have dried up.
It's time to have a look at their stats in Golden Point games. Brisbane have been there 15 times and they've won 8. West Tigers have been there 16 times and they've won 4. So on the weight of numbers, Brisbane have got by far and away the better record.
I didn't think they were. I thought there was a little bit
It might not be worth the paper it's written on. True.
Let's stay behind.
Marshall then will get us going for the second 5. Tigers haven't won a Golden Point game since 2012.
I think they win this one.
Marshall then gets us going again. Here's Corbin Sims. Lunging himself at Twal and Packer. He's really muscled his way through a couple of defensive lines in this match tonight. Off a Hengawi playing the ball. Big dummy by McCulloch. Good meters by the number 9. Playing it back for Milford. Will go away to Maguire. All they're doing is hitting it up. Give our kicker a chance. They've had 4. That's where they are. 32 metres out. Off a Hengawi now puts them well within range. Isako's lined it up. Takes the kick. And it's gone wide as well.
No.
What's this?
What's this for?
Penalty goes to Brisbane. Not square markers.
Well, he could have given a dozen penalties in the last 6 minutes.
Clearly not fair. He's put pressure on the kicker, and that's why.
Now we come back to that man again.
Mate, we've been pretty strong this year with penalties, okay? And we're going to go on the next time as well.
Isako.
Okay, he wasn't square.
So they're not square at marker.
So Robbie Rocco
and Godinez.
Well,
can we rock that back and have another look? Again, they're supposed to be direct.
The man who plays the ball walks sideways. Anyway, this is a rather dismal way to end the game, isn't it? If he kicks it, and the young fella has given no signs that pressure's going to get to him, he could have given any number of penalties in the last 6 minutes.
You should let the players decide who wins the games.
Well, there's every reason to think Godinez wasn't square. The other fellow, he might have had a complaint. I think it was Packer.
Yeah, but Godinez wasn't in the play. He had nothing to do with the play.
Godinez didn't chase the kicker.
Robbie Rocco chased the kicker, and he was square.
I understand, but there's
and
still...
if you want to referee to the letter of the law, he was sideways. He was a bit sideways when he played the ball.
So here we are in the 7th minute of Golden Point. And Jermaine Isako. He kicked a goal from the sideline to keep them alive. Then he kicked a drop goal. Now he's got a penalty goal to win this game at 9-7. Isako drills it. Flags are up. Flags are up. Brisbane have got in to win. He hits it. He's got it. He's got the field goal. He's got